Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Mwendwa here, ready to share as always. My subscribers, thank you so much for being here. Returning subscribers, may God bless you. For those who are joining this channel for the first time, you're very much welcome. Feel at home and be ready to learn something. Today we are discussing about fighting hatred. 4 ways on how you can fight hatred. First of all, before we jump into the 4 ways of fighting hatred, we need to define what is hatred. We need also to know what are the roots of hatred. So I'm going right away to define what is hatred. Hatred is extremely strong dislike of a person or a group of people, and you don't hate them just because of what they do or what they do. You hate them because of who they are. In the news, you find so much information. In the news, you can get information about racism, sexuality, nationality, crime, so many stuff that are related to hatred. So these things, when they happen, that hatred is able to develop because there's prejudice, there's discrimination, there is violence. So that hatred is able to develop through those ways. And what are the roots of hatred? Originally, we know where hatred came from. It began in the Garden of Eden. That's when we introduced about the serpent. But I want to deal with what we are dealing with currently. I want to deal with what we are dealing with currently. I had to mention that so that you can know hatred came from long time ago. It's not something new. It's not something new. So the roots of hatred can come in different ways. For example, you have misinformation. When you are misinformed, that is, you're misinformed either through a group pressure. You are in a particular group and they hate a particular other group, or they hate a specific person. Misinformation can come about. Misinformation can come about also through social media. You hear somebody has been spoken of, it did 1, 2, 3, and maybe it's not true. You can also get misinformation in the news outlets. Wherever there's news, magazine, radio, any news outlets, they can give you misinformation that may lead you to develop that hatred. The other root is ignorance. We come from different type of people. We have different cultures. We come from different races. We come from different religion. So hatred can develop because of ignorance, whereby you don't want to learn about someone else's culture, why they behave in this manner, why they worship in a specific religion. And also racism. Did anyone choose to be born a white or a black? No. No one chose. So also hatred can come through that. It can come through ignorance. Another way hatred can develop, or the root of hatred, is through fear of change. When you're afraid to change something, when you are at a loss, maybe you have lost property, you have lost a loved one, you have lost so many stuff, it can lead to make you feel that hatred can develop. Fear of unknown. You don't know what next is going to happen. Maybe you have lost your house, you have lost your business. You don't know about tomorrow. You don't know what will happen. So that hatred can develop in that channel, in those ways. So let's jump on 4 things that can help you or can help you fight hatred, having that background of what is hatred and how hatred can come about, then we jump into how to fight hatred. There's 4 ways of fighting hatred, and believe me, in those 5 ways, God is involved. You have to involve God in order for you to fight what? Hatred. So number 1, impartial. Be impartial. What do you mean by being impartial? Being impartial is trying to see people as individuals, not like in a group. You see a person as an individual. So when I was doing research on this, I got a lot of experiences from different people. Majority, it was about racism, and others, it was about being successful, and so on and so forth. So majority I got hatred comes because of race. And one of the person I chose, one of person experience, someone from Namibia. His name is Titus. I'm just going to read directly to avoid unnecessary mistakes. Yeah, I'm going to read exactly what Titus wrote. Okay, Titus Sangandi is 43 years old, and he comes from Namibia. And he's saying, I grew in a rural village in the Mwendwa region of northern Namibia. People in my village were beaten and killed during the war that was fought in the region during the 1980s. In my village, a boy was considered manly only if he was a good fighter and could beat up other boys. So I learned to fight. That is where I began learning to fight. When I completed school, I went to live with my uncle in the coastal town of Swakopmund Mount. I forgive my pronunciation. Soon after my arrival, I joined a gang of rebellious young men. We would go to places in town where black men were not welcomed, and such as hotels, bars, and just to provoke fights. On several occasions, we fought with security guards and police. Every night, I equipped myself with a sharp long knife or a panga, a machete, to be ready to attack anyone who got into my way. Did you realize the target is a group? It's not someone in person. So he's giving him experience, but now he's happy because he became a true Christian and he was able to fight that mentality, and he became impartial. So being impartial is something very important. The story is long, but I just want to describe how people, how races can hate each other just because of the color, which is not good. So try being impartial, and it's only God who can help you do that, because you remember Titus is talking about being a true Christian is the one which helped him overcome feelings of revenge. Number 2, overcome feelings of revenge. It's not easy to overcome feelings. Most of the people, in most of the cases, it's so painful to let the matter go, because you feel that it's like you have been beaten twice. But let it go, and you have to involve God. There's no shortcut. You have to involve God to help you overcome that feeling of revenge, because revenge is the one which causes hatred, violence, and what have you. You can choose to report a case in the police or authorities. Number 3, get hatred out of your mind. How do you get hatred out of your mind? What do you feed your mind? Always ask your question, what feeds your mind? Because now if Hatred is deep rooted in you. Take a honest look at how you think and feel about other people. Avoid social media, movies, or entertainment that features on hatred and violence. This one is very difficult, but if you only want to fight hatred, and remember, hatred is not fought in a group, it is fought individually. That's why it is applying to someone individually. Avoid those things. Avoid them completely. That bring you you have to get hated out of your mind by not looking things which are not wholesome, things which remind you, things which make you feel to have hatred in you. And the last one, you have to conquer hatred with God. How do you conquer hatred with God? Who do you associate with? What kind of people do you associate with? Do they hate other people? Do they hate a group of people? Do they hate persons? So you have also to disconnect with people who hate others in order for you to be able to fight hatred. Those are the 4 things that you can do in order for you to fight hatred. I have so many experiences. If you're interested, feel free to comment below. I have an email address. I'll be able to contact you and we'll be able to give you more experiences about this, and you're going to be get something out of it and also benefit. I hope you have benefit, and I'm happy to see you, to have your time. Like, God bless you for being here, for listening to me. If you have somebody who has the same problem and he wants to overcome hatred, please share. Please share the information so that people can get out of hatred. May God bless you. I love you, and take care.